Hello viewers, thank you for joining me into this lesson. In today's lesson, we are going to look at multiplying a surd by a fraction. First of all, anytime a surd is being multiplied by a fraction, it is important to express the given surd in its simplest form and then multiply it by the given fraction. We can also look out for common fractions and cross them out. So let's take an example. So we have here 2/3 root 45. So we are to simplify 2 divided by 3 times the square root of 45. So we have 2/3 times the square root of 45. The square root of 45 is the same thing as 9 times 5. So we can then express this as the square root of 9 times 5. Moving on, we have here 2 divided by 3 times the square root of 9/1 times the square root of 5/1. We know that the square root of 9 is 3. So this will give us 3 divided by 1 times the square root of 5/1. Okay, so we have common terms here which we can cross out. So 3 is gone and 3 is gone, and we are left with 2 times 1 times the square root of 5. Okay, and this gives us what? 2 times the square root of 5, and finally we have 2 root 5 as our solution. Let's take a look at another one. If we have the square root of, okay, let's call this one 2, and maybe we should call this one 1. The square root of 88 divided by 4. So let's go ahead and simplify this. This is the same thing of saying 1/4 times the square root of 88. Okay, and we know that the square root of 88 can be expressed as 4 times 22. Okay, and moving on, we have this to be 1/4 times the square root of 4 times the square root of 22. All this is being over 1/1. So moving on, we have 1/4 times the square root of 4 is 2. So this will be 2/1, and 22 is not a perfect square, so we leave it as the square root of 22 all divided by 1. Okay, so next we see that we can reduce it. 2 is gone, 1 and 4, we are left with 2. So we are going to be having 1 times 1 times the square root of 22. All this is being divided by 2. And we know that 1 times 1 is 1, and the square root of 22 is 22, like the square root of 22, sorry. And this will be 22 all divided by 2. This is the solution to this question. So let's try another one. Let's try. I'm going to have the square root of 4 root 6 divided by the square root of 24. Okay, pause the video and see, and try it personal and see what you can come out with. But if you tried and you couldn't get it, don't be afraid. Keep on watching the video, you'll see the final solution. Okay, alright, so this, we can rewrite this as 4 times the square root of 6 all divided by the square root of 24 can be expressed as 4 times 6. That is the square root of 4 times 6. Okay, so let's break them. This will be 4 times the square root of 6 divided by the square root of 4 times the square root of 6. Okay, so by observation, okay, let's simplify it first. So we have here 4 times the square root of 6, and the square root of 4 is 2, and this will be times the square root of 6. 6 is not a perfect square, so we leave it that way. Moving on, this should give us, we can see that we have common surd which can cross out, so 6 is gone, this is gone, and we know that 4 divided by 2 is 2, so we are left with the solution to be what? 2. That's simple, just like that. Okay, now let's go, this is our 3, and let's take another one, 4. Then this gives us the square root of 75. Let's try this one. Square root of 75 divided by the square root of 3. Okay, the square root of 75 can be expressed as the square root of 25 times 3. So this gives us 25 times 3 divided by the square root of 3. Moving on, we can separate them by having square root of 25 times square root of 3. All this is being divided by the square root of 3. Now we have the square root of 3 as 3, which is gone, and so we are left with the square root of 25, and the square root of 25 is 5. So this is our solution. Okay, this is where we are going to stop for in this section, and let's move on to the next section where I will be teaching you how to multiply surd by a surd. Okay, stay with me. Thank you.